Abundance, family. Whole abundance to you as you reclaim your destiny. Now, many of y'all may have not thought that I would ever talk about this subject, being that I was this big health influencer. And all of a sudden that page went down. And the reason why that page went down, because there was information that I used to talk about that was no longer relevant to this dimension that we are existing in now. So I had to let that page go. I'm the one that shut it down. Nobody shut my page down. I shut it down. And this video will be about the truth about food for gods when we are ascending back to our godhood. Now, I'm going to break this down truly for the gods to understand, because as you move through your ascension process, you're going to be tested with every program that you thought was what? Like food is poison, like food can affect you, like don't eat this, like do eat that. All that shit is on certain dimensions that it applies to. And once you get to higher dimensions, back into your unlimited nature, you will find that nothing, absolutely nothing can affect you. Because if everything is coming from this realm, even if they create certain elements and they combine them together and they're poison for you in a lower dimension, it does not matter if you're a true alchemist, if you use alchemy. True alchemy. You are the original alchemist. Am I wrong or am I right? Which means when you learn how to alchemize your external world and all its things that it throws at you and transmute that energy for your rise, you can also do that into your internal world as well. Now, the things that were created in food, put in food, it came from this realm. If this is your video game, if this is your realm, that means you can rearrange the molecular structure of food to have it serve you if you reset the intention for what the food truly was going to have for you. Now, normally they put all these chemicals and all these archons in the food, right, to go against your rise. But if you alchemize and reform the molecular structure in the food at certain levels, none of that shit is going to affect you. I've tested my body to the max with this whole thing, and it's true. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, this is not for everybody at this time. This is going to happen as you begin to ascend. So please do not force the process. It's based off of how you feel. And I know a lot of y'all feeling like, why y'all eating all these foods? Why you craving all these foods? Why you just want to eat? You're testing your program. You're being tested by your higher self. It's not just parasites. Parasites at a certain level are totally eradicated. Now it is the fact that you think that these cravings are coming from parasites. They're not coming from parasites. They're coming from the equation that you have to solve to get yourself to a higher level in the game. And the equation, when it comes to food, is the fact that you thought at one time in the game that the food was going to affect you. And it did, because you gave it power to affect you. When you said, I'm going to eat this, I'm going to eat that, and this is going to make me sick, it normally would make you sick, right? Because you were giving your power away to the intention somebody set inside of the food. At certain levels, that shit don't affect you no more. You know how you watch these shows and you see these guys coming to these planets like Dragon Ball Z? You'll see Beerus coming to the planet and all he eat is bullshit. Him and Whis, the other guy, they eat bullshit, right? And nothing happens to them. Because at a certain level, nothing will happen to you. Now, I'm not saying gorge, but sometimes you might, depending on whatever your programming was. I was tested at the highest levels because I was someone who lived, eat, and sleep and breathe that information. Health, fasting, all these things. So I had to be tested, and I was tested to see if I was going to tell the people about my ascension process. That's why I constantly get rewarded with this language. Helloai, Silhouette Mall, Silhouette King Dus Claire Merrick the Key last. And at the end of the day, you know, it's not about what you think in the previous dimension. It's about how you adjust to the dimension that you're going to and what you are willing to let go that was from the previous dimension. What do you want to let go? I mean, how high you want to rise. I mean, you can stay in a dimension as long as you want to, depending on what you like, what you want to do, or how long you decide to stay under that. And you choose your time. I'm just letting you know from this dimension what is possible. Nothing can affect you when you really tap into your godhood. Nothing is supposed to affect you when you tap into your godhood unless you give it power. You have to give it permission to affect you. Many of us have unknowingly gave permissions to give our destinies away when we were not awake to a high degree. But as we get out here and we meditate more, we realize, wait a second, I gave this person permission to take my power because they had more knowledge about this than me, and my destiny was taken for a little while, right? That you're taking back. You're taking it back, right? All right, cool. If you're taking it back, this is for you. Part of your destiny is realizing none of that shit can affect you. Nobody can hurt you here unless you allow them to hurt you. This whole thing is your mind. You can't hide from your mind. So when people are even following you, you can't hide from yourself. This is your mind. Your mind is testing you to see if you can overpower what you once thought it was, to strengthen your armor. Utilize whatever's happening to you as fuel, and then ascend because of that situation that you once thought was against you, like the food. Listen to your body. Listen to your higher aspects. Listen to your feelings. What are you feeling right now? Allow your emotions to be your guidance system. And some of y'all going to be doing some really weird stuff. That's why it's very important to make sure the individuals around you are just as serious about your ascension as you are. Otherwise, their aspects that they have not worked on are going to slow you down. Hear me again. Their aspects that they have not worked on, right, are going to slow your ascension process down. So make sure if you are around anybody throughout your ascension process, which is very strange because it's opposite of the human experience, they are just as serious about this as you. If you are halfway in and halfway out, you ain't going to get this. You got to be all in about you. If you're not all in about you, how do you expect your higher selves to be all in about what you got coming to you? Your higher selves like, you too dense. And because you're too dense with all these beliefs that you think are powerful over you, I'm not going to give you what you've been asking for. You can ask all day long. But if you're not removing limitations from your mind, you're not going to be limitations not going to be removed from your reality. I mean, come on. And a limitation is a programmed belief that you once thought was true, that you go against in order to get to the higher levels of you. Each dimension you got to test. Each dimension you got new devils that you got to overcome. This is just a representation of how light you're becoming, how controlled and neutral you're becoming. Light and dark, more powerful beings. There are beings that are malevolent that can't beat us. We're light and dark. Come on now, they can't fuck with us. They'll try, but they're getting their ass whooped right now. That's why they try and latch on to you a little harder, because they can't not survive without you. As you step back into your power. I know many of y'all have gone through things where you feel like you just didn't have a fair shake. Somebody was taking your essence and utilizing that for their wealth. That shit is over. You got to decide if you're going to take it back. Otherwise, you're going to be right where you at. You're not going anywhere until you do something about it. Nobody can do nothing about it. All I can do is inspire you, give you the information, and you do something with it. If you don't do nothing with it, that's really on you. It's not on me. I'm going to just tell you, at certain levels, none of this shit is going to affect you, especially the food. Vlags kirik, los kiloa pluamos o skindaek los keraksum, blik aek domi kirik, las kuraksum.